All right, we are live.
All right, welcome everyone to the City Council meeting for Monday, November 10th, 2020. If we could have a roll call, please, ma'am, to establish quorum.
Terry McClung,
I'm here.
Harry Meyer,
Yep.
Rochelle Moyer.
Here.
David Avanzino is absent with notice. Steve Holyfield.
Here.
Susan Gruning is absent with notice.
All right, if we could stand with the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
It's behind you.
I pledge allegiance to your flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to make Terry the official flag pointer outer.
It's good to have a purpose.
Absolutely. All right, get a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
Second.
All right, got anything on here? Anybody want to change or add? I think we do have a couple of items on here about can defer the minutes. Our clerk is not here, and those have not been written yet, so we'll get those up next time. And I think that's Suzanne. Susan's not here, so we may want to discuss the sidewalks later on also.
Yeah, I move we defer my motion to discuss the,
Beg your pardon?
I move to defer mine, the last item there too, since we don't have a full council.
Oh, revision of the sidewalk ordinance also?
Yeah.
Okay.
So 5 goes under new business, 3 goes under unfinished business.
Yeah. And as far as I know, I think that is it. So, Mr. McClung?
Do we need to have a discussion about the city clerk?
We can. I don't know what we can talk about, but we can talk about it if you want.
Does the city attorney need to weigh in on any of that, or is that
Oh, absolutely.
okay?
You want to talk about, should we talk about the city?
City clerk is ill. She's
Yes.
been ill.
Okay, I think if she's ill, she said she was sick today, so she's not going to be here.
She's been sick for a while, and she said she's been quiet about it, but she said she was going to discuss it with me soon because she's
All right, let's
missing
hold off on
a
it,
lot
Mr.
of stuff.
McClung, if you don't mind.
You want to hold off? Is that
Well,
what
do
you
you
just
need
said?
to, do you want to add it to the agenda?
That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, you can if you want to.
It's up to you.
Well, I think
She's been
she's way
sick
behind
lately.
on things, and so
Absolutely.
either she needs some help or something. So we need to figure something out to get caught up to speed.
Well, she needs to participate in that also.
Well, I agree.
So that's the reason, at this point in time, I think we need to hold off until we get her to participate.
Okay, then let's put it on for the next meeting then.
Okay,
We can do it now, just go ahead
Sure.
and approve it now and then, or
Yeah.
do it with agenda setting either way, I don't care, but
we'll do it. All right,
next time. Okay.
all right. All those in favor of the agenda as amended, signify by saying aye.
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's so moved. All right, we got commission committees reports. We got a vacancy on the CAPC in your packet. We've also got a third quarter report from the parks. And we have met with our water committee meeting people, and I think Michael is going to give us a little report on where we are and what we discussed with our water committee and sales tax and et cetera on that. So,
Okay, so we met last week and discussed kind of what our options were, and what the Water Committee has come up with is that going forward, probably the only and best resolution for raising revenue for the water department is through a sales tax. The water committee is recommending a 1% sales tax. And so we're making that recommendation to the city council. And so then you can discuss it from there and put it on your agendas to be talked about of how we go about that. Just kind of an information with our sales tax, our current sales tax, a 1% sales tax, a 1% sales tax would cover a bond of about $16.5 million, of which the water department would get about $16.3 million. It would be an annual debt service of about $1.3 million a year. That income tax is expected to bring in somewhere around 1.6, 1.7 a year. Is what we get annually, about 1.7 on a 1% sales tax. So that would cover the debt service with a little bit left over. That would go still against the bond because it would be a dedicated sales tax that would only be specifically for the water department. It would be specifically to pay off this debt. Once this debt was paid off, then the sales tax would go away. And so it's that's kind of what we found out from our bond person at Raymond James. So then it would be up to the city council for a timeline of how you want to move forward with that. You would adopt an ordinance, file with the county clerk, and then we would have the election. Yes, sir.
So this would be instead of raising the water rates and stuff?
This would be what we would do is do this, and then we would go back and have another rate study done. And with this additional money coming in, that should alleviate some of the need to raise the water rates. So it could defer or cancel some of those future water raises that we have coming forward.
And also, if it did pass, then it would we would do away with the I&I fund.
Right.
Do what?
Do away with the I&I fund.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, Terry.
Well, also understand that you're only paying interest on the money that you use, one, and two, that it's, you're not going to use it all at once anyway. It's going to be kind of a gradual thing just because we can't get it all done at once. It's, with the engineering and all, but it makes a lot of sense. It really does. It gets us on where we need to be down the road, 20 years from now. So 20 years from now, they don't have to go through this again. It'll already be set up and things in place. It'll give them a head start on it after we're gone.
Kind of how it would work is kind of like a construction loan on a house. You would have that amount of money approved. Then we would do projects. You would draw on you would draw the money out. Then when you drew the money out, you would pay interest on that part. They gave us options. They gave us options to look at 15, 20, and 30 years. The reason why we kind of settled on the 20-year is because, like Terry was talking about, anytime they make major renovations at the wastewater treatment plant, it's a 20-year useful life is what we've been told by the engineers. So that's kind of why we wanted to tie it to that 20-year number.
Yeah, Harry, Mr. Myers.
Well, from what I understand, the rate study was based on what we have for infrastructure right now. The water lines, we got X number of miles of water lines, we've got X number of miles of sewer lines, we have X meters that are in town, and in order to supply water to those meters, we have to have a certain rate based on what it costs us to maintain that whole system. So aren't we sort of, we're trying to sales tax, but I thought the sales tax was for catching up on the lines that are dead now, that needed to be replaced 20 years ago, and so forth. Not the sewer plant. The sewer plant we got covered with this loan, but it's the other stuff, the water lines and the sewer lines, and maybe even getting sewer lines to some of the people in town that don't have sewer.
That's correct. That's what it's for.
The sales tax, right?
Yes.
Well,
That's what it's for.
he just
Well-
said it was to pay the loan back for the
No,
sewer
no,
plant.
no, that's a different loan.
You're
Harry. That's-
putting a lot of things
That's
together.
the 6.5, that's 6.5 million's different.
All right.
That's different. Number two, part of your rate study is that you were able to make your water department self-sufficient, and you were able to carry enough money in it so that you would have a debt ratio coverage to be able to borrow additional money in the future. This would eliminate that need to borrow money in the future, because a portion of this money would go to major repairs that needed to be done at the wastewater treatment plant, and some of it could go to what you're talking about as far as expanding the sewer systems, removing septic tanks, things like that in town that need to be done.
You're
So
still
it would-
talking about money going to our sewer plant project?
Yes, $6.5
From
million
the-
is not going to fix our sewer plant. It's not going to do it. They've already told us that they need an additional $4 million that they're asking a grant for to take it up to $10 million.
Haven't heard that.
Yeah, you have, right here at this table. We've discussed it several times. So, yeah. Rochelle?
Yeah, just for clarification. So, first of all, thank you for all the work that went into doing this, and I think this could make a real difference for our residents. I love the idea of being able to, if this all passes and they decide that this is how we want to fund the needed infrastructure improvements for the city, that's their choice, right? Because if this doesn't happen, then we just have to rely on rates to pay for those improvements. So this gives residents an option. And I know that this is a lot of work. So I have a couple of questions, and one was just clarification about what was just talked about here. You mentioned changes to the water system, but just to clarify, this money would be available to use for like sort of general infrastructure, like if we needed to improve things on the sewer, in the sewer.
Yes, it would be
Creating new-
on the water department, so whether it needed to be on lines, water lines, sewer lines, or if it was and kind of what we talked about, and I think this would be a very integral part of going ahead with this, is definitely getting a budget of what this money is kind of earmarked for the things that need to be done, the repairs that need to be made, how much would go to infrastructure as far as putting lines in, and how much it would need to redo the places that are on septic tanks, things like that. That would be a next step. This is a recommendation of what funding sources that the water committee kind of looked at. And so before we put it to a vote, to the vote of the people, we would definitely want to kind of earmark some of the money for this is going to go, because we want them to know where we want to be completely transparent on where this money is going and what it would be used for and what it would be spent for.
Right.
So
We'll need to
that
put
would be a future step.
Gotcha. The second question that I had was sort of, and maybe this is putting the cart before the horse, but I'm curious about like the timeline for this sort of thing, right? Because we would need to pass the sales tax and then get this before the folks to vote on. So what does that timeline look like?
So she had given us an original time frame because she had thought we may want to try to push it for a March special election. And she had said like in November, City Council would adopt the ordinance calling for an election. In December, we would put it with the county clerk. March 3rd, you would have the election. We get the results. March 23rd, City Council adopts resolution authorizing bond sale. Then we'd start doing the financing in April and June. Then in June or in July, the funds could start being delivered in 2026, July of 2026. And then January 1 of 2027, we would have our first coupon payment. And on July 1st, 2027, we would have our principal payment. You can kind of push that all forward about 6 months if it goes into the November election. So then you're talking November election would start getting money in the election will be in '26, you'd start getting money in early '27, and then, or probably first 3 or 4 months of '27, and then probably our first payment due in '28, first of '28. So.
Great. And so can you talk about what would be the barrier, what would be the sort of trade-offs to pushing it sooner rather than later, setting a special election versus waiting to November?
That's up to y'all. I mean, that would be a discussion amongst yourselves. That's not something that would really, Terry.
Mr. McClung? Yeah, I think he's.
Yeah,
I'll get with you, Mr. Myers.
really the time frame to try and do the early election is it's really not feasible because we won't have out the plan, an idea fleshed out as far as how we want to be able to tell the community everything that we can prior to the vote. So the November election is really going to work out best. It gives us time to sell the sales tax. Most truly, that's what we're going to have to do because it's we believe in it that much. That this is the avenue for a revenue stream to take care of our needs down the road, and it's spread out not only amongst the residents but also the tourists that come to town. It's across the board sales tax.
Exactly.
Mr. Meyer?
Well, I know a lot of residents don't like special elections because we have to pay for it. If we could get it all together before the primary election, we could put it into the primary.
That's the idea. That's the plan.
But that's primary, not November.
No, I don't think you can
You're
do
talking
it
about the
primary.
general election. The
Yeah,
primaries will be
general.
in March.
Yeah,
General election will be in November. So it would
But
be a really, you wouldn't. It would be
No
a short
special
timeframe.
election, no.
No.
I don't
Right.
want, I don't like the idea of a special election, but
Right.
if we could get it together quick enough to do it at the primary time, that would be cool, but probably not. We probably need to wait till the general.
We really want to be, as noted, not only transparent, but we want to educate the public. We've gone through this sales tax at one time, and there was a lot of misconception over the sales tax, and that's ultimately why we ended up with the I&I, even though we said at that time, the I&I fund is going to hit the residents as opposed to the visitors. The sales tax, as we all know, the majority of us eat out. I'm just speaking for myself, but maybe, and I'm going to say on the average 25% of the time, which is probably a lot. The average person probably only eats out 10% of the time. So that tax is only going to hit them 10% of the time. And most of us, again, most of us don't stay in motels or hotels. And we do our sales tax, but again, it's a minor amount compared to what the visitors come in and spend. So it's a visitor-oriented tax as opposed to the resident-oriented tax. And we need to be able to make that clear to our locals and the residents because they're the ones who are going to be voting on this. And so we want to make sure that we educate them to all the positive aspects of it.
We definitely want to let them know that we're going to retire it when we get sufficient funds.
Well, that's an option. It's just,
I think that's the best way to sell it.
we discussed that in the Water Committee meeting, and, I think that's up to the council to decide how they want to handle it.
And one thing to keep in mind and on that, Harry, is like where we're saying you generate $1.7 million a year in taxes and the payment is 1.3, all of that 1.7 will go towards it. So it will pay it off early. So if we do have better tax years and things like that, then it will be retired early just by the normal workings of how it's going to work without us kicking in any additional money, because every portion of this 1% sales tax will go towards this.
But how are we going to know how much money we need to do what we need to do?
That's where it's going to come back to the budgeting. Yeah, where it's going to be.
We don't have X-ray vision. We don't know which pipe is going to blow next. We don't know which,
We'll
Mr.
never
McClellan.
have enough money to do what we need to do.
That was going to be, that's
We never will.
absolutely.
It's-
And
It's not going to happen.
we also, at this point, we don't want to get and hire an engineering firm to go in and do a lot of engineering, even preliminaries, until we know exactly if we've got a sales tax done. Simon in Public Works has a plan on untreated sewer areas. We have a plan on that, and then we can take those costs, and he told us, what was it, $1 million a mile?
I think so. Yeah.
The last time, so we can figure out how many miles of untreated sewer area we have, and figure that for right to begin with, and then McClellan or whoever engineers we pick can look and help us with the rest of it.
I feel like I remember when we did the workshop, the water sewer workshop with McClellan and all that, those reports that they gave us, they had a pretty specific plan, and then they had like a projected outlook for the next 10 years. And there was a lot of stuff in there that did have kind of prices to that. So I don't think it's like a shot in the dark. I think you could just even, Harry, if you look at that material that they passed out, it gives an idea of what's coming to us in terms of need for replacement. So thank you all for doing all this work. And I think there's one point here that's also maybe different from the past, and that is water rates for residents have already increased, and they're up for another increase, right? So at that point at which we have to vote to increase those water rates would be a really good time to start educating. If you don't want this to continue, here's an option, right? So
Absolutely.
Something in the mail with their bill?
Yeah. Any other questions? All right, Michael, thank you very much. And
One
you got
other
any
thing I wanted
comments?
to tell you while we're up here and I'm talking about water, today we received our 2023 water audit. So we are up to date on water audits. When I took over, we needed 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. And we are now up to date. So hopefully we won't have to be working on those every month. So, but yeah, we got that today. Everything looked really good. I'll get a copy out to y'all. There wasn't any issues.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Anything new on it. So it came in really good. So we'll get those out.
Thank you for pushing
good
our,
work.
auditors to get those things done. It's
been a
like,
fight.
between you and I,
Yes.
it's like pulling teeth out of, hen's teeth.
It's been a fight, but we finally got on a really good place with Forvis, and so I think we're going to have a great relationship going forward. So glad of that. Thanks, guys.
They didn't like Lonnie or something, I don't know.
All right, that takes care of that. Public comments? We have 3 minutes. We got some public? No comments? All right. That brings us up to our unfinished business, Public Works update, and I think Sean's here in place of Simon.
Motion to discuss.
Second.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. With the water department right now, we're still replacing meters, getting rid of the old meters, putting in the new meters. We do have a couple taps on that are getting ready to be done. One at 536 West Van Buren at the old Road Dogs, and one at Stoppel, which would be, I think it's the new bus depot. On that, that's pretty much all we have on water right now. As far as the sewer, we've replaced the wastewater treatment plant's meter. It was malfunctioning and not reading correctly, so we replaced it. And we
The water meter?
The water meter?
Okay.
Yeah, the water meter for incoming water down. It wasn't reading correctly, and so we replaced it and we adjusted the pressure reducing valve because it was at a ridiculous pressure down
Does
there.
that mean we're going to have to pay more on our water bill now?
It will lower it.
Oh,
We'll have less waste now.
all right.
We're currently working on the UV system at the wastewater plant because we've replaced lamps and modules and ballast in it, but we still have rows of lights that aren't working now. We do have some working. We're at a loss, but I've been in communications with Aquaray, and they have a tech that's going to be calling me so we can go over it on phone. If that doesn't work, they're going to send a tech out to us for it. We need to get all the lamps in the UV system going, so.
The wiper's working now?
Yeah, well, no, the wiper's not working. We have parts ordered for the wipers. We got the actual wiper itself, but we're waiting on motor drives.
Okay.
Yeah. As far as the street guys are concerned, they painted the hospital parking lot, and they've been filling potholes around town. We've removed several fallen trees, and we've cleaned out the spillway at Black Bass because it was full of fallen trees, and for heavy storms, we don't want it clogging up the low wire bridge there. We have sidewalk work beginning on South Main, right by the museum on Monday. They're going to replace the section and correct it for better drainage instead of it flooding right there like it does all the time. And other than that, we began installing our Christmas lights around town. So that's about all I have.
All right, any questions?
No turkey lights?
No turkey lights.
All right, thanks, John. Thanks. All right, get a motion to discuss on Queen Anne's purchase.
So move.
Okay, second.
Second.
I talked to, at the last council meeting, y'all wanted me to get a hold of a realtor. I got a hold of Karen Kinsel. She has looked at, she did find some comparative parcels on there. I haven't gotten anything formally back from her yet. And so I don't know exactly what's going to happen. Rod, unfortunately, his wife, Jill, had a horseback accident and had to be air-vac'd over to the hospital last week. So it took a while for him to get me the documents that I needed. And I think you now have all those documents in your packet, all the surveys and outlining through there. And so that is what I know at this point. Now we can defer this until Rod gets here, or we can actually probably need to defer it anyway to, we can discuss it.
I move we defer it.
I have a point I would like to discuss just before we move on.
Okay, well, there wasn't a second on there, so
Did you say what?
go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I really just wanted to kind of address the trail part of this. We've been doing a lot of work on kind of collecting all of the plans for the city. And in the trail master plan from, I think, 2014, which Sam confirmed that he works from, on page 29, there's actually a documented plan for a trail that leads through that area, but from the transit side instead of from like the Queen Anne parking side. So I don't know how many people were aware that was actually captured in the Trails Master Plan when we're talking about whatever this negotiation might be about the purchase of land. And we're talking about, there was some mention of easements maybe being needed in addition to the community center's own land. If you look at, I think that the easement matters if that's part of the negotiation for the sale, depending on where the trail is originating. If the trail's originating from the Queen Anne's parking lot, a different easement might be needed than if the trail is originating from Transit's parking lot, which is what the current trail master plan has. So,
Mr. McClellan?
Just off of memory, without any maps and seeing any of that, I don't believe the transit property joins this.
It doesn't.
Yeah, so that the city would have to, procure easements in order to do a trail from transit to Black Bass.
Maybe. Personally, before I would want to weigh in on all of this, if an easement for a trail is part of the negotiation, I would definitely want to know what we might need to create a trail, because
And Sam has looked at that. He says it's possible.
Yeah, I was going to say, we should get Sam here again if you've got questions, because
Sam was the first one that was approached on this project and has been walked over it several times and thought that there wasn't any problem from his viewpoint, from what I understand with him. So But they're two separate trails, one from the transit, and then this is a separate trail and through there. I don't know if that answers your question.
I guess I'm just not certain that that's the case, so I would want
I'm not
to-
sure what your question is, really.
Okay, so my question would be, we have, I don't know if it's a question, but more of a statement. This is city-owned property, and city-owned property, in my mind, is is property held in stewardship of the people. And so when you think about selling city land, you'd think about, well, what would be the best use of this land for the community? And it may be that the best use of the land, because it's landlocked, et cetera, is to sell it for a fair market value to the business that is asking for it. Or it is also property that it borders a park and is within walking distance to downtown and has inherent value. And so what else might you be able to do with that land? If you look at the plans that the community has already vetted and adopted, that plan looks like that land has been designated to either hold as green space or to create a trail. So in my mind, from a city perspective, the importance for me is not how much do we sell the land for. The importance for me is what do we use that land for? If a trail was what the community wanted, how do we make sure in this process of possibly selling city land that we get the trail that the community wants? So I'm just saying, there is an existing plan. It says there's a trail through there. I'd
No,
like to
it doesn't
understand.
say there's a trail through here. Not from the parks.
The master plan that's been adopted by the Parks Department shows a trail
That shows this
From-
trail?
from transit
isn't-
into Black Bass Lake in that same section.
But this isn't beginning at the transit.
I would just like to see what the plan for the trail in this area that encompasses the community center's land, that uses that access point,
Okay.
what that looks like before agreeing to sell the property, because we might need to negotiate a different easement.
What would you like to see what would you like from parks or from the community?
I would like to see from if Parks is the one that's going to build the trail, then I would like to see the proposed plan for the trail to make sure that we have the necessary easements or to know what easements we need to get. And I would like to see a budget, because my expectation is that if we sell that land, they may ask for part of the proceeds of that money to support that trail, and I'd want to see a budget for that. So, I mean, the other part of that is part of this conversation, that we can just keep in mind moving forward, is what do we do with the proceeds from that land? Because
And that's another issue that Michael and I have come up with that I think would be interesting to the city council. Mr. McClung, did you have something?
Well, I think the best way to determine that is to have Sam speak to the trail
Yeah.
situation. One, two, you got to remember that the trail plan as it is like the city vision, and that it's a living document, and it's, it can be molded and changed and things done as needed. And a lot of this stuff is not even projected out as far as developing, until future dates. That may never happen. Everything is taken on a case-by-case basis and looked at.
Mr. Meyer?
I think that 2014 plan was before the community center gave that easement that we see on the map here.
Ms. Moyer?
I do believe that the community center's land is not an easement. They own the land, and that land was given. It's actually mentioned in the documents that the Queen Anne provided. And probably Steve could speak to this better than I, because he's on the board. But that land was gifted for the purposes of creating a trail, because it connects from 62 through that swath. and it borders
city
city property and landmarks of Eureka Springs property. So all of that sits in there together. If you look at like Land Glide or whatever, you can see they're all sitting right there together. So a plan for how to move the trail through that property, I think, is possible, and there has been land given for that.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. McClung?
If you recall, I believe Sam told us last meeting that as the easement currently exists, it's impossible to put a trail in there.
and that's why I think I would like to see that plan, because I know that the folks that did the master trails plan, the trail master plan, I want to refer to it correctly, did a lot of work in that area and actually secured that land for that purpose. So I think there are other people who also have an understanding of that area.
Maybe. Maybe.
I'm just saying, from the city's perspective, if that's our charge, is to use city property for the betterment of the community, and that's been identified as something that the community wants, then we have an opportunity here to make sure we have all the pieces we need to make that happen, or to help make that happen.
Mr. McClung?
I would say that probably a phone call to David Renko could tell you a lot about that, Mr. Mayor.
All right, anybody else?
I am on the board, but I'm not clear on where the boundaries of the land is and stuff, so. And also, I think this is a great discussion, and we're kind of talking about, speculation without having Sam here to really answer the question. So I definitely want more of a discussion once we have Sam here.
Yeah, he's crawled all over that property, so.
I move to postpone till next meeting.
Okay, get a second?
I'll second.
All right, all in favor of deferring this to the next meeting, signify by saying aye.
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 All right, any opposed? So moved. I will have Sam, and hopefully at that time too, Rod, Jill will be better, and Rod will be able to be here too to answer any questions on there. All right. Brings us up to our next item, new business, is a fence ordinance. We're on our
Motion to discuss.
second reading. Got us
Second.
All right. Motion and second to
2378.
discuss.
This third reading, right?
Second.
Second reading, yeah.
Second readings from what I see. All right, this is ordinance 2378. Get a motion, Mr. McClung.
I'd like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and read ordinance number 2378 by title only for its second reading.
Second.
All right, since the clerk's not here, I'll go ahead and read it. And ordinance 2378, ordinance...
You're supposed to vote first, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
It's all right.
Trying to wear two hats.
Slow down.
All right. All right, roll call.
Terry McClung,
Yes.
Harry Meyer,
Yes.
Rochelle Moyer,
Yes.
Steve Holyfield.
Yes.
All right, need to speak closer to the microphone.
Oh, Harry Meyer.
No, we got it. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now we're ready for ordinance 2378. Ordinance establishing fence regulations for non-historic properties within the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, providing for permitting material and design requirements, setbacks, visibility standards, and exceptions, and for other purposes. Mr. McClung.
A motion to approve ordinance 2378 on its second reading.
Second.
All right, Mr. McClung made a motion to approve ordinance 2378 on the second reading. Mr. Myers seconded. Any further discussion? All right. Roll call.
Harry Meyer,
Yes.
Terry McClung,
Yes?
Rochelle Moyer,
Yes.
Steve Holyfield.
Yes.
Mr. McClung?
Mr. Mayor, have you had any calls on this at all? I've not heard anything from anyone.
I have not.
Okay. Then I make a motion that we suspend the rules and And put ordinance 2378 out for its third reading by title only.
I'll second.
All right, Mr. McClung made a motion to suspend the rules and read by title only ordinance number 2378. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Terry
Yes.
McClung. Harry Meyer.
Yes.
Rochelle Moyer.
Yes.
Steve Holyfield.
Yes.
All right. Ordinance 2378, an ordinance establishing fence regulation for non-historic properties within the city limits, city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas, providing for permitting materials and design requirements, setback visibility studies and exceptions, and for other purposes.
A motion to approve ordinance 2378 on its third and final reading.
Second.
All right, Mr. McClung made the motion to approve ordinance 2378 on third and final reading. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Terry McClung.
Yes.
Harry Meyer.
Yes.
Rochelle Moyer.
Yes.
Steve Holyfield.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that brings us up to discussion of metal building ordinance 2379 for third reading.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we suspend the rules and read ordinance 2379 by title only for its third reading and third and final reading.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Myers made the motion to suspend the rules and place ordinance 2379 on third and final reading by title only. Mr. Holyfield seconded. Any discussion? Roll call.
Terry McClung.
Yes.
Harry Meyer.
Yes.
Rochelle Moyer.
Yeah.
Steve Holyfield.
Yes.
Ordinance 2379, ordinance amending section 1408-03F of the Eureka Springs Municipal Code regarding metal buildings to update zoning permission, facade requirements, and material standards, and for other purposes.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve ordinance number 2379 on its third and final reading.
Second.
Mr. Meyer made a motion to approve ordinance 2379 on third and final reading. Mr. Holyfield seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, so moved. Our next item of business is get a motion to discuss establishing resolution mandating a temporary entertainment district.
So move.
Second.
Okay. In your packet, you have our application for a temporary entertainment district, which is similar to last year's New Year's Eve entertainment district. And a resolution attached to that. And Mr. Maloney is here to answer any questions, if there's any questions. Mr. McClung.
I've not heard of any complaints or any problems with any of those required to sign off on it. So we're good from the city standpoint, correct, Chief? So I'd like to go ahead and just make the motion that we assign this resolution a number and read it for approval.
Suspend the rules and read by title only?
Yeah, suspend the rules and read it by title only, yes, thank you
Second.
for reminding me.
All right. Any further discussion? All right, Mr. McClung made a motion to assign this resolution a number and by title only and to read for passage. And hearing no other discussion, ordinance number,
It's not an ordinance.
resolution number 2380.
No, it can't be that big.
Well, first we need to vote on there.
That's, That-
Resolutions are a different number.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
okay.
that's ordinance.
all right,
It's should be 800 something, I think.
Yeah.
93.
893? Wait a minute.
Sounds like a
Is
great.
this a resolution or ordinance?
I don't have,
Do you need that?
Yeah.
I don't have
the last one's in my truck.
Yeah, little office over there.
I'm in there.
Good,
Third
clearly.
home.
894. Is that right?
893. 893.
Oh, okay, 893.
Well, you
All
said,
right, now that I'm lost, where were we? Did we,
Read by
did
title
we?
only. Read by title only.
Okay. Do we, okay, resolution number 893, a resolution to authorize a temporary entertainment district and establishing standards for its operation for New Year's Eve. Okay,
I need to vote.
now we need to vote on that, huh? All right, roll call?
Terry McClung,
Yes.
Harry Meyer,
yeah,
Rochelle Moyer,
Yes.
Steve Holyfield,
Yes.
All right, so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Maloney.
It's the first time I never had to say anything.
Good job, Mike.
All right, we will have, okay, it's been deferred sidewalk ordinance, sales tax bond and discussion, Rochelle Moyer.
Oh, I thought we removed that.
All right, we will.
Thank you, though.
And, all right, that brings us up to a discussion, get a motion to discuss November meeting dates and budget meeting dates. Get a motion to discuss.
motion to discuss.
Second.
Normally, November and December, we have one meeting, but we do have some workshops, some budget workshop dates that we need to put in through here. It's up to the council what y'all want to do for November and December meeting dates. We can talk about that first and then talk about budget dates. Mr. McClung?
It's been kind of standard for us to not have the second meeting in December, the one preceding Christmas, which will fall on the 22nd this year. Personally, if we need it, I have no problem with both the dates in November and both the dates in December as far as meetings, if we need them. But if we were to drop anything, it'd be just that one. I think we need to be here the second meeting of this month for sure. We've got things to do.
So what I'm hearing you say is go ahead and meet in November,
24th.
the 24th.
Yes, whatever, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 24 is 14 days from today, so.
That's no problem.
And
Yeah.
Thanksgiving's 27?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think we can really wait on the second. We need to meet the first meeting of December, of course. And then the second meeting of December, I think we can wait and make that decision that first meeting of December.
Totally agree, yeah.
And then if we need it, then we'll have it. And if not, then we can blow it off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Later.
I will also, okay. If that's the case, with council doesn't need to do anything, we'll just keep the schedule as we've got it right now.
Yeah.
And
good.
I will get, Michael and I will get with you guys and with the department heads and get some times, possibly, and what we did last year was meet an hour or two before the meeting date. So we may do that in November.
Sounds good.
So put on your calendar if that's not a problem, possibly
No problem.
3:30, 4 o'clock. Michael and I will get together, but on the 24th for a meeting for budgets, for hear from the department head.
Yeah.
So, all right. Okay. Next item is a resolution for disbursement of surplus vehicles. Get a motion to discuss.
Motion to discuss? Second.
All right. This is a resolution to, for the Parks Department they have a couple of trucks, evidently several trucks and vehicles in through there. They want to go through at auction and put this up on auctions, and we need to go ahead and assign a number and read for passage if that's...
Rent the restroom, please.
Sam couldn't be here tonight, so he just had me do the resolution. This is for a dump truck he's got that's in pretty bad shape, a Ram truck that's in pretty bad shape, another truck that has a utility bed on it, and he's needing more of a pickup truck than one with a utility bed. And then the last one is for a box truck, which you guys probably may remember it. It was the box truck that the gentleman used to own that did the painting, the stripes, and the.
Yes.
He's passed away, and they donated it to the Parks Department. So he's just wanting to sell it. So that's the vehicles that he's wanting to sell.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and assign this resolution a number and read it
You're going to have to wait
for approval.
back to vote.
And
We're gonna have
we can wait for Steve to
Yeah.
vote, but just,
I'll second.
All right, why don't we take a 5-minute break in the meantime?
sure. That's
Until
fine.
then?
Motion to take
Motion
5-minute break.
Yeah, take 5, all right. Get a second.
Take 5.
Second?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, well,
Here he comes.
Yeah, 5-second break, you want to make it instead of 5-minute or what?
yeah, he's quick.
Everything come out all
I
right?
still got,
Aye.
I want to double check something here before we come back in.
Is it midnight yet? It feels like midnight.
Pretty close.
All right, we're back on city council business here. I think we had a motion to suspend the rules and assign this a number and place on the
Read it for approval.
read it for
yes.
passage.
Yeah.
And so we're waiting on a vote. So roll call vote.
Terry McClung?
Yes.
Harry Meyer?
Yes?
Michelle Moyer?
Yes.
Steve Holyfield?
Yes.
All right, so moved. Resolution 894, resolution authorizing the disposal of surplus property of the Parks Department through auction. All right. And that takes care of that. Agenda setting. Anybody?
No, we need to vote on
Oh.
you need to vote on the ordinance. Did you read it by title only?
I did.
Now you got to vote on it.
No, that was a resolution.
But you still
And
need,
the motion was to sign the number and to vote for passage.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So we're getting all confused here without our clerk. We'll blame our clerk while we're so confused. No, I'll take my own blame for that one. All right. Comments? Mr. McClung?
None.
Mr. Myers?
Summer's over.
Yeah, Ms. Moyer?
Thanks for making it warm in here. It's warmer than it has been in the past, I feel like, so thank you. I also wanted to say thank you to law enforcement. We had some things happen at Loblolly this weekend, and very disconcerting for our staff. And law enforcement showed up and provided very nice service to stabilize everybody, made everybody feel comfortable. So I just want to say how much I appreciate them. Appreciate Michael and the committee, Terry, the water committee, Mayor, on all the work you guys have done on that. I think that's going to make a huge difference for our community, hopefully. And yeah, just real appreciative of everybody who's doing their best.
All right. Mr. Holyfield?
CAPC workshop here this Wednesday at 5 p.m. I think we're talking about budgets mostly. Our next meeting's on the 20th. It's changed because of the holidays at 5 p.m., a regular meeting. Also, I went to the Purple Flower fundraiser at the Opera last week, and I was really pleased to hear that they've raised their $27,000 in 27 days because of their federal grant money was cut. So they lost a big chunk of funding. So they went into high gear and raised the money really fast. Of course, now they'll have to work on that every year. But our community is really always impresses me in how giving we are and how much we're willing to step up and help out our neighbors. And the Purple Flower is our domestic violence resource center for Carroll County. It's really important for everybody. So thanks everybody who came out and supported that organization.
All right, we have, I do not have the dates on here, but Silver Tea is coming up. I don't remember what date that is, but I'm sure it's going to be in the newspaper and on Facebook, and that's always a big...
I think it's December 4th.
Is that December 4th?
December 4th.
Okay. On there. And, but like I said, also, I think I attended the Purple Flower fundraiser also out at Inspiration Point, the Opera, and that was just a great fundraiser. Had a lot of great art, a lot of people out there supporting the facility, which is a good thing that we have here in Eureka Springs. Other than that, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second?
All right, thank y'all. So moved. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Yes.
Aye, thank you.
Get up and leave.